Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
And then Ms. Hartwell, and then you can come up to that table. Ms. Walker can come up to that table. So Ms. Walker, raise your right hand. You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. So I've reviewed, there's been text messages been submitted. I reviewed all that. Did you two used to be acquaintances or friends or what have you?
We did.
All right.
Yeah.
And then one at a time, ma'am. I've sworn her in. I haven't heard from you yet. When the time comes, I'll hear from you. And so, and again, if I'm reading correctly, this was kind of started by your child. Texted her first, she responded, then you kind of, then we're off to the races on the text wars. And could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. Is that kind of an accurate, I'm oversimplifying there, and I'm asking her now that she's
Yes.
sworn in, but that's kind of how this all got started?
Well, sort of. It really started from her showing up at my abuser's court. That's really
Okay,
what
so
made it
hang
start.
on just a second,
Yeah.
but that didn't start it. If she just showed up and left, then that would have been the end of it. All this,
Right.
this texting.
Exactly. Where her
Look,
daughter.
ma'am, just remember what I said about interrupting? That included me.
Yeah.
And so, all started because the 16-year-old, I think, started it. And then I'll be frank with you, it didn't seem like adults were acting like adults at that time. So I guess, do we need to proceed to a hearing, or given that you were at one time friends, can we,
No,
find that this is
an
blown
order does
over
need to
and
be in
go- and Go
place.
forward?
No, an order does
Okay.
need to be in place.
So I'll hear from you then, ma'am. And she's the petitioner, and if she wants to go forward, I'll listen to her, and then I'll hear from you.
Yeah. Paige and I did used to be friends. We had a falling out about 5 years ago. During this period, I became aware that Ms. Hartwell was involved in drugs and gang activity, and it's completely against my values.
Okay, so hang on just a second. You only get an order because,
Right.
I mean.
I'm just
again, I don't
giving you a
want
little
to-
background
We
about.
see this so much. I don't want you to comment on that. I
Yeah.
just want you to tell me why you need an order. I
Oh,
don't need to hear you,
Ms. Hartwell.
for lack
is
of a better term, badmouth her.
completely- Yeah, and she's completely unpredictable. You don't know what exactly is going to be happening. She threatened me on multiple occasions, including a time where she wanted to meet in a parking lot of my choice so that she could have a fist fight. She's 46 years old. I can't have her running up on me. I'm a single mother of a 3-year-old. And I can see Paige at many different occasions, but I can't have her unpredictable behavior or her threatening, harassing, or her violence projected on me or my child. And you also see too that I responded to Paige once and she ranted for 2 hours
Right.
after that response, unsolicited. So.
All right, and Ms. Hartwell, what's your last name?
Miss Hartwell.
Okay. You've already been sworn in.
Yes.
What's your response to her request for an order?
So obviously, it was a very vulnerable moment between the court that I had with my ex and then having my daughter get involved. She was there and she was traumatized by the abuse that she witnessed at the home. And I think when she stood up for me to Jenny being there, it made me feel really upset that she had to stand up for me again in that situation. It was a one and done. I agree. I apologize to the courts as well as to Jenny that I was out of line with the things that I said, but I have no interest in, I don't know Jenny's phone number. I don't know where she works. I don't know where she lives. I wanted her to stay away from me and my daughter in any form because it was honestly, this was a very vulnerable, traumatizing time with Brandon. And it felt very mocking for her to
Who's
show up.
Brandon? Is that
That's
the
the
defendant?
abuser. And he's at Walla Walla for the abuse that he did to me. He strangled me. He punched me. It was numerous times. So she was in the courtroom smirking at me and my daughter, mocking it. And it was really offensive. And it hurt Kira's feelings because Jenny was our friend since I was 16. Kira used to go to her house. This was like her aunt for a while. So Kira felt like she could say to her, what the heck are you doing in this courtroom? And so that Jenny even snapped back and said, unless you want to end up like your mom's
I
boyfriend.
read that. You
And
don't,
her boyfriend, who's sitting in the courtroom, just got out of Walla Walla with Brandon. I mean, I'm not gang related. They're gang related and in this mess. I have a business. I own a home. I have 2 daughters. I haven't
You
thought
don't
about
act like
Jenny.
it.
ma'am,
I haven't
interrupt.
thought about Jenny since this incident. I would happily move on without any more incident, with or without the restraining order. I have no interest in contacting Jenny. I'm not looking for Jenny. I'm not thinking about Jenny. That's my honest, and I apologize to the courts. I realized that I was out of line, but it was a vulnerable moment and I was pretty upset.
This isn't the first time she's done it. It's multiple times.
And I have no history of any, and I have no record. Like I said, I own a business, I own a home, I take care of my children. I'm a single mom. I thought she has a fresh out.
So, hang on a second.
Mhm.
Go ahead, ma'am. You wanted to say something?
I just think that it's continued from before. This isn't the first time this has happened. This is the first time I'm actually just taking it to court. This isn't to be tolerated. This is completely out of line. The amount of text messaging for 2 hours obsessively is completely.
Was that just over a 2-hour period of time?
Yeah, she did
Okay.
not stop.
And then did it
From
stop
7
after
till
that?
9.
Yes.
I had to block her
Okay,
to
did
make her stop.
but it stopped after that.
Yeah, after I blocked her, yeah.
So one at a time. If two people are talking, I can't hear either one. So you haven't been friends for 5 years?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've not
So
seen her in
one
5
at a
years.
time, ma'am. Why did you go to the hearing?
His sister actually had asked us, they said that.
Whose sister?
Brandon Fuller's sister. We're all
Okay.
friends, so.
Well, not anymore.
Well, no, no,
So-
I mean, his family and I are friends.
Okay, so hang on, just, okay. So the purpose, so did he go to prison?
He did, yeah.
Okay. And so you showed up in support of him?
Yep.
Okay. You see how that could be kind of upsetting?
Well, of course,
Okay.
absolutely. But again, this is.
I
the
mean,
other
and again,
reason
I'm
we're
not
friends.
notwithstanding
I
her
mean,
response. Her response is
Yeah, and it's
even
not
by her
acceptable. I
standards is
mean-
inappropriate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's not acceptable.
Ms. Hartwell, you wanted to say something?
I just feel like she showed up exactly for this purpose. She wanted to dangle a carrot and mock. I mean, she's sitting in the courtroom smirking. She didn't sit anywhere near Rochelle. That's the
I wasn't
sister.
in the
I know,
courtroom,
and
so I
so
don't
I'm just
think
telling
that
you, like, she sat in there smirking. She came, I mean, she did not belong there. She did it completely to show that she's supporting Brandon. He's getting stalking charges from Walla Walla from continuing to stalk me there after being sent there for domestic violence. That's what she showed up to support him for stalking me. And so, yeah, I was upset. And like I said, so was Kira, my 16-year-old. And it was upsetting to see my 16-year-old have to protect me in a situation that she's pulled that man off of me before and called the police for me. So it was really upsetting to have that win and have Jenny, another woman, somebody that she considered an auntie, and somebody that I considered a friend at a time there. And I'm telling you, it was a one and done. I was out of line. I apologize. I don't need a restraining order. I have no interest in Jenny. I'm happy to walk away and never speak her name again or think about her again. And that's the
Every
truth.
time we see each other, it's the exact same thing. No, I disagree
Oh.
100%.
What,
So-
I mean, when you say every time we see each other. I mean,
Every
this is-
time we see each
Okay, so I
other.
mean, but then I thought I heard you say we haven't been friends for 5 years. So what are you doing? seeing
Right,
each
exactly.
other?
So the last five years ago, when I saw her, it's the exact same behavior.
So
during COVID.
Okay, yeah, but that was 5 years ago. From 5 years ago till now, you haven't had
Yeah,
any
I haven't had
contact with
any
her
contact.
until this. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. All right. When was the court date that you showed up for?
That was the,
Or who?
November 19th.
November 19th, just less than a month ago?
And then she messaged 3 days later.
Say that again?
Then Paige messaged 3 days later. So it wasn't the same day. It was
Right.
the 19th, Kira messages, the 22nd, Paige messages.
Are you here for this case? Okay.
That's my fiance.
I'm sorry?
That's my fiance.
Okay. You wanted to say something?
I just want to say Otani was in Walla Walla with Brandon and was released
Okay,
on
that's not-
October
that's not
31st.
important.
And so I'm just saying that they're
Okay,
very
that's-
all
I don't,
close.
that's not important. All right, well, here's where I'm at with this. So, she has a right to come to these court hearings. You can do whatever, I don't know, obviously, I don't know whether she was smirking at you or smiling at you, or maybe, again, we had another case here earlier you paid attention to, where I think one person completely misinterpreted what another person was doing. And that might have been the case. I can't get inside her head to know what the motivation was. On the other hand, I look through all the cases that she is listed as a victim as, and I'm assuming this all involves the same person,
It is, yes.
including
Very serious.
numerous felonies, numerous violations, and no contact
Yes.
order.
Exactly.
Um,
I was traumatized for 5 years by that man.
so just,
I get to be traumatized by you.
okay, so, I have to say,
Mhm.
I can see how this happens from both of you. You all have to get the last word in. Neither one of you can be satisfied with just letting things go. So, I do believe, not to throw your child under the bus, but, this wouldn't have happened had your child not contacted her. That what would have been the end of it. On the other hand, when, when your text back to her wasn't the best text in the world either, about taking a shot, you're gonna end up like your mother's boyfriends, I think, which I think is a terrible thing to say to a 16-year-old child, I do, who's just witnessed, what her mother has gone through. And to say things like that, which I don't think is all that appropriate either. Having said that, your response to her was terrible too. So, I mean, but it appears to me that you guys went without contact for 5 years. Then there was a blow up. And I'm confident that you can go the next 5 years without having any contact with each other, without the benefit of a court order. So I'm not going to enter an order here today, but clearly you know how she feels. You send another text, you're going to get an order. There won't even be a hearing. It'll be an order and it'll be longer than a year. And kind of the same is true for you, ma'am. I think you could have handled this a lot better, your own self. And, yeah, so the request will be denied for now. But again, if either one of you contacts the other person and don't like it, you come to court and you'll get an order, and that'll be the end of it. But it doesn't, again, it was an emotional response. And yeah, there was a series of acts, but it seems to me to be confined to you blocked her, and then that's been the end of it. And hopefully this will be the end of it now.
Thank you, Your
So you
Honor.
both are free to go.
I
Well, you can
appreciate
thank me
you.
by staying apart from each other.
Thank you so much.
Come back, man, if there's any other problems.